All right, we are going to create another section. As you can see, if we are to analyze this part, this benefit section, as you can see on the the left hand side of the Figma, you can see that we have a container or a box that contains every other thing. This is the benefit section. We have every other thing inside this first container. So let us create the first container. So here we call it group here. So I'm going to create the group, and it's jumped up. So let me undo. All right. Let me create a group here. Then I was jumping up, but I can always drag it down. Yes, I just dragged it down to the last. And I'm going to name this benefits group or group benefits. There we have it. So this container is going to contain every other thing. Here is a space of 80 pixels between this box. So there's another box inside the first box. So it's just about dealing with boxes actually. So this is another box inside the first box, and we can see that there's a space here. So let us create this other box that is inside the first box that we created. And now let's go back. I'm going to make this container layout column. I'm making it column because these boxes are going to be stacked upon each other. They are going to be stacked vertically. So I'm choosing the container layout to be column. The next thing I want to do here is not to make this a fixed width. Yeah, and the minimum width should be 0. If I make it 0, okay, the minimum width should be 0 as well. So let's continue. I'm going to create another group or box inside the first box we have created, just like we have it inside this Figma. This is the first box, this is the second box, which is at the top. Now we can see that we have benefits here, and we have another text here inside another box. So the layout we are going to give this is row. We are giving it row because we want to have another 2 boxes inside again. Now we want to set this not to be fixed width, and the minimum width should be 0 as well for responsiveness. Now inside this group H, we are going to have another group here, and this group is going to be column because this group is going to contain these benefits and the other text. And now let us duplicate this group. Yeah, so we have this one is going to contain the view all, and this one will contain these benefits and the other. So let me put a text here. This text will say benefits, and let me check the size of the text. The size of the text is 48 and semi-bold. Right here, 48 and semi-bold. I'm going to make this I'm going to make this 48. I'm going to also make it semi-bold as well. Yeah, semi-bold. And now we can see that the text is not behaving well. So because it is fixed width. So I'm going to remove this fixed width. So now it has breathing space, but as I'm going to fit the width to content. Alright. So then let me copy these and paste. So then I'm going to paste this text inside this benefit, this other one. And the font size for this is 18 pixels regular. So I'm going to change this to 18. You can fix that, don't worry. 18 to 18 and regular. Yeah. So there we have it. So now we have our benefits and we have our text. So we can see that here this text is not looking long like this one because it doesn't have breathing space. So let's go to the layout and remove this okay, the minimum width here is 113. So let's see what happens if we increase that. Alright, so that is not the case. That is not what we control it. So let's remove fit width to content and let's see. Alright, so this group that contains both of them is still fixed width. So that is why this text is behaving this way, because the group that contains benefits and this one is the width is fixed, so it doesn't have enough breathing space. So I'm going to remove this fixed width, and immediately I removed it, we can see that this text now has breathing space to spread its wings. Now to the right, now we have this and this. Now to the right we have view all. So I'm going to use this group that we created here to get, as a matter of fact, since we have a group here, we can just put we can actually just put our text here, our text that we see, or okay, let's put it inside this group. So the text that says view all. Alright, so let us fit this to content, layout, not fixed width. The minimum width should be 0, and can fit the width to content. Right, so there we have it. So now let us do the container alignment to be that is controlling the text inside. So we want to control the group itself. So the vertical alignment is going to be center. This center. Okay, let's look at what we have here. Should it be bottom? Okay, it should be bottom. Yeah, it should be bottom, and the text as well should excuse me. The group that contains the text, group benefits. So let me look at it for me. The group H, group I, group J. Yeah, group J. The container alignment, let me put it as bottom as well. Alright, so there we have it. And text can be. All right, so there we have it. So let's just make the space. Let us create the space between this view hall and this text. So we can do that by actually reducing the maximum width for this instead of making it infinity, because it's stretching out totally. So we can restrict it to, let's say, 700, or we can use percentage for it to take, let's say, 70% of the group of the space, or let's say 80%. All right, so that is it. And this group as well, we can make this the minimum with 0, and we can fit the, okay, and we can fit the width to content. All right, so there we have it. We have the space in between, and let's see if it is responsive. 1299278. Let us look at how we have it here. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to have on our mobile, and this visual is supposed to be here. So let us look at what we have on our mobile here. You can see that the benefit is at the top and the text is where it's supposed to be, but this view hall is supposed to come down, so we are going to fix that. On 768 looks good. 992.12 and the default. All right, now we can see that we have space between the benefits and the page. Now I'm going to click on this group benefits and create a padding, a left padding of, let's say, 50, 100. All right, to the left, and 100 to the right as well. So that gives us the space to the left and to the right. We have our view hall here, we have our text, we have benefits. All right, so there we have it. So I'm having a feeling that we should delete this group and bring this text just out of the group. So let's put the text. So let's go to group benefits, text view hall. All right, so let us bring this group H, group I. All right, so what I'm trying to do here is to bring this view hall back to where it's supposed to be. Let's go back to the group benefits. So inside the group benefits we have group H, which contains group I. Okay, so now let's take this back inside group H. All right, so we can see it's back inside the group H. We have group I, and this group J, we are going to delete it because that was where we took out this view hall. And now I'm going to move this, make this last. All right, so it's back here, and I'm going to drop it, make it bottom aligned. All right, so there we have it. We have it as bottom aligned. Checking the responsiveness now. All right, so we can see that the view all is now responsive. The view all is not responsive, though we are going to fix the space in between. There's supposed to be space in between. Alright, so there we have it. Here we have it. So we are moving on to the next one, which is this particular grid. Alright, what we are going to do first is to create a group that will contain everything, and it is actually simple in the sense that we can create this first one and copy and paste the rest. So let us create the first group. So it is going to be inside this group benefits, because this is the first box, this is the first box, and this is the second box. So let us create this second box. So I'm going back to my UI builder and I'm picking this group 2 to create another group here, and I'm going to make this if we are to study this now, we are going to make this alright, let's make it row. Okay, let's study. Okay, here inside this group we have another box and another box at the bottom here. I mean, this is another box at top and another box at the bottom. So the first box, here's the first box, here's the second box at the top, and the third box at the bottom. So we are going to replicate the same thing here. So we are going to make this column. Now let us name this group numbers. Alright, group numbers. Now after having the first one, which is this, and we want to have our second one at the top here. So we are creating another group inside the first group. Okay, now let us look at the layout for this. The container layout for the first one should be column, yeah, and shouldn't be a fixed width. The minimum width should be 0, the maximum width can be infinity. So let us dive inside. Let's go inside of this. Let's go inside this. So this one, let us name it top inner group. Okay, now we are going to make it row. We are making a row because we are going to have other boxes inside and they are arranged on a straight line horizontally, so that is why we are choosing a row. So okay, the top inner group, the container layout should be row, and it's not going to be fixed with the minimum, which should be 0. Alright, so let us create. Now we are going to create this first box inside again. So it's just all about boxes being inside boxes. Now let's make this the final inner box. Final inner box. Okay, so that's the final inner box, and we are going to make the container layout column because we want to arrange things inside of it vertically. 0, 1, flexible learning, this and this last icon. So the first thing we want to do here is to input our text, the text which is 01. Okay, I'm going to undo that. So inside the final box, we want to have our 01. Now let's look at the size of this 01. It's bold and 80. Bold 80. So this is 80. And bold. All right, let's look at the layout. It's not behaving well because it is still fixed width, so let's remove it as a fixed width. Now the minimum width is 65. We can make it 0, right? And let's move on. We have 01, and the next thing we have here is these two texts: flexible learning schedule, flexible learning schedule. So in the same top inner group, we are going to have another text, So since we set the layout to be column, things are going to be arranged vertically. So let's copy this text: flexible learning schedule, flexible learning schedule. Let's paste it here, and let's look at the layout. It shouldn't be fixed. So there we have it: flexible learning schedule. And the next thing we have is fit your coursework, right? This, so we can have another text here to the bottom, right? So there we have it. Let's check out the layout. It shouldn't be fixed, but it's too much, so we should make the maximum, fit the width to content, and make the maximum width, let's say 50. Let's look at what 50 will look like. Yes, that's too small. So let's look at what 150 looks like. Okay, so I guess you can make it something like 300. Alright, so that looks good. Alright, we have 01 flexible learning schedule, fit your coursework. And lastly, we are going to have this arrow icon. Lastly, so let's search for arrow. Okay, let's just use this arrow. Let's use this arrow. All right, so now let us align the arrow to the right, just like we have it here. So to the right. Okay, it has gone outside the top inner group. So let us put it back inside the top inner group. This is the top inner group. This is our icon. So final inner box. Okay, it should be inside our final inner box. All right. Final inner box. So we need to pay close attention here, because when it gets to this stage, I mean, creating complex boxes like this, things can get a bit complicated. But if we can pay close attention to the elements tree here, we can sort out the issue that we are facing here. So let us close the groups that we are not working on presently and leave only the group benefits open. So once again, let us do a recap of the journey we've made so far. The first box we created was the box that contained everything, and going down from that we have the top group. I mean this is here is the first box, and we had this group H that contains the benefits. This is the benefits subgroup. So let us name this group benefits subgroup. All right. So we have group benefits subgroup, group benefits subgroup to the top, and we have, okay, this is supposed to be top, group benefits top, and now we have group high, that is the one inside the group benefits that is containing the text vhol and this benefits, this text benefits, yeah, text benefits, and this one inside the left I mean group left. So this left group, if we follow closely, we will see that this is the first one, and inside of it we have group benefits to the top, just like we have it here. The first one, group benefits to the top, it contains everything. Then inside we have group left, that is, there's a space between this group. Yes, this is group left, this is group left, and this is vhol to the right, this is also vhol to the right. Now moving down again, we have another group which we call group numbers. This is another group which is group numbers. It is going to hold everything inside. So now we are currently building these group numbers, and inside of it we have our top inner group. Our top inner group is going to contain this 1, 2, 3. So inside our top inner group we have our final inner box. So this is our final inner box, which is going to contain our one flexible learning schedule and this arrow. So now the issue we are having here is that our final inner box, this is our final inner box group. Our final inner box group somehow aren't containing this text. They've gone out of the final inner box. So we are just going to, what we are going to do now is we are going to drag these guys back into our final inner box group, and our arrow as well back inside. So they were misbehaving because they were not inside, they didn't fall inside the final inner box group, but now we have them in the final inner box group. So now we have 0, 1, we have flexible learning inside our final inner box group. So we can now duplicate this now. We can duplicate this now inside the top group, inside this group, inside this top group. Sorry, you see this? Yes, inside this top group. So that is what we are going to do next now. So what we want to make sure that these guys are spaced very well before we duplicate them, so that we won't need to do them independently. So now this 0 1 is moved to the right, so we are going to move it to the right, make it the horizontal line to be right. I mean, sorry, the text now. The text, we want to move it to the right, but I guess, okay, but that's not possible because we need to fit the width to content. All right, yeah. So after fitting the width, it didn't work out because the width is very wide and it's taking up space. So we need to fit the width to content so that it can respond to the horizontal alignment that we are giving to it, center and right. Now there we have it. Now the flexible learning schedule is 24 semi-bold, 24 pixel semi-bold. We are going to change that in the appearance, 24 pixels, 24 pixels and semi-bold. All right, and this one is 18 pixels regular, 18 pixels regular. Yeah, so there we have it. But let us create gap spacing between them. Gap spacing, gap spacing, gap spacing. So we are going to create the final inner box layout, apply gap spacing. All right, but in this case this is applying to everything, but we need this to go lower. So what we are going to do here is add this and this to a group element in a column container. Yeah, so we can name this inner group text. All right, there we have it. So this way we can now set probably a top margin for this, all right, to have this space, a top a top margin for this, top margin to probably 20 or 30. All right, so we have the space between them now. Flexible learning schedule. But let us create more space, more breathing space for the text. So we are not going to make this fixed width, but we can make the minimum width 0 and the maximum width probably 400. Let's look at what 400 is going to look like. So this way we have more breathing space, just like we have it in Figma. As you can see, we have more breathing space for the text now. So with this, let us give this guy more breathing space as well. Max width, let us increase it to like 350, so we can see we have more breathing space for them. But the space between this arrow and this guy, this text, let us increase it the more. So the top margin, let's increase the top margin. So there we have it, and we can see that the space between this arrow and the bottom. So what we are going to do there is the padding. The padding is the space we have inside the box. So top and bottom. Let's make this probably I think 30 is okay. 30 is fine. So there we have it. So the next thing we are just going to do now is we are just going to copy this final inner box and paste it inside our top inner group. Our top inner group, so that we can have our 02 and 03 and the rest. So now final inner box, inside top inner group, paste and paste. And paste. Yeah. So there we have it. We can now change this to 02, 02. The text expert instruction, we can change it now. Expert instruction. Yeah, and let's go back. Learn from industry experts. Let's change it here. Learn from industry experts, and to the next one, which is 03, we change this to 03, and diverse course offerings, and explore a wide. All right, so we paste it there as well. Awesome. There we have it, but we can see that there's a need for space between them. So what we are going to do is we can achieve that inside the top group, the top inner group. Yeah, the top inner group. So we go to the layout and apply gap spacing between elements, column gap of, let's say probably 30. All right, so we can see that. Now the way we can achieve this, we can see that there's a kind of contrast line between them. So we can achieve that by reducing the background